back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and welcome to another episode of Spotlight Saturday. So today I am spotlighting my L.M. Montgomery collection because it feels very appropriate since it is L.M. Montgomery. I have quite a few L.M. Montgomery books. I do not own everything that she has written, but I'm slowly working my way towards that, in addition to having multiple editions of the Anne series. So I guess we can start with that because Anne is kind of what L.M. Montgomery is most known for. So I initially bought this series in this really lovely edition. So there's Anne of Green Gables. The bad part about this is I realized it was missing two of the books when I bought it. So I'm going to show you the stack here. It comes with 6 books, but it is missing both Anne of Windy Poplars and Anne of Ingleside, I guess. So I was kind of trying to swap out these editions for a different one. I'll show you the covers of the other ones. I really like them because they have different components of the story, which I really love. This is Anne of the Islands, and then Anne's House of Dreams, Rainbow Valley, and lastly, Rilla of Ingleside. So I'm slowly trying to switch over to a different edition that has all of the books in that edition. But then I was gonna get rid of this edition here, but my daughter really likes them. And so she's asked to at least keep the first 3. And since I have not completed yet my collection of Anne and a different edition, in fact, I don't think I have any of these 3 books in the other edition. So I think that's kind of why I held on to all of them. But now I'm just like, why can't I have Anne in more than one edition? So I also have another edition of Anne of Green Gables that I couldn't find anywhere. It's my husband's grandmother's copy that she gave to Claire, and Claire has it somewhere. It's a beautiful illustrated copy, but I can't find it. So I'm not going to show you that, but I will show you the other edition of Anne that I have. So I'm slowly but surely building up my collection of the Tundra edition, which I absolutely love. The artwork for these is so beautiful. Chantel from Chantel Reads All Day is the one who turned me on to these editions. And this illustrator, which is Ellie McKay, I think, or is it Kelly Hill? I think it's Ellie McKay, because it has the cover design and the cover illustration credited on the back, but the illustration would be Ellie McKay. I'm gonna see if I can find her Instagram, because her Instagram account is beautiful. She's done the cover for quite a few different books, but I love her Anne editions, and she's done other editions of other of L.M. Montgomery's works, and I have another one, so I'll show you that one in a little bit. But this is Anne of Avonlea, which I love. Anne and Diana. And then we have Anne of the Islands with Anne and Gilbert's. And then Anne of Windy Poplars, which I love, with the umbrella blowing. And then I don't have book 5, but I do have book 6, which is Anne of Ingleside. So I also need to get Rainbow Valley and Rilla of Ingleside, and then I will have the complete edition in the Tundra edition. So that's my goal. I'm working towards it, but I've been slowly getting one here or there when it's on sale or when I have money or, you know, whatever. But I think I got most of those from Book Outlet, because Book Outlet will occasionally carry them, but not all the time. So I love those editions. I think they're the prettiest editions. And the other book that I have in a Tundra edition is The Blue Castle, which I've not yet read. Look how beautiful that is. I love it so much. My friend Victoria, who is also a subscriber, just recently sent me this with a really sweet note. It made me so happy. She sent it to me right before L.M. Montgomery, which was just absolutely perfect. And this is one I want to read soon, because a lot of people say that this is their favorite L.M. Montgomery, even above Anne. So I want to get to this soon. I would love to get to it this month for L.M. Montgomery, but I'm just not sure if that's going to happen. Then I have a ton of L.M. Montgomery books in these super old mass market paperback editions. And I used to have the whole Anne series in this too, but then once I got the prettier version, I got rid of them, and I kind of regret that, because I love the vintage feel of these. So I actually have the entire Emily trilogy in this edition, and I got them at a thrift store and they were like 49 cents a piece. And unfortunately, the last book, Emily's Quest, you may be able to see, has some water damage and it's kind of beat up. The other ones are kind of in perfect edition. Actually, this this actually has the 49-cent sticker on it. So we have Emily of New Moon, and then the second book is Emily Climbs, and then the third and final book is Emily's Quest. And I really love Emily. I relate to Emily more than I do to Anne, just because Emily is not quite as effusively positive as Anne, but she's just as imaginative and always dreamed of being a writer, and so it's really fun to see her journey. There is a component of Emily's story that I don't love that causes a lot of people to not like the Emily stories as much as they like the Anne stories, and I also didn't really love how it was resolved. I liked the ending, but I just wish the ending had been dragged out just a little bit longer. If you've read it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but I don't want to be spoilery. I still think they're totally worth reading and are just wonderful. So I still absolutely love them, even though there are some things that I think keep them from being completely perfect. Another Ella Montgomery series that I have in that vintage paperback edition is Story Girl and the Golden Road. This is a duology following Sarah, I can't remember her last name, Sarah Stanley. And she is an orphan, I believe, and she loves to tell stories to the other children in the area. And I think that one of the boys and his brother are staying in this town for the summer, and so they meet Sarah. They're staying with their cousins. And then this is a little bit later. I think it's like the following summer or something like that. Well, actually, it's not summer. I guess they must be there in a different season, but it does take place after Story Girl. I love both of these, and yeah, I was really excited to find them used somewhere, because these are not books that I find all that often. You can find Anne pretty easily at thrift stores, but you might not find the rest of the series. These I've never seen at a thrift store, but I found them at McKay's used, and I was super excited. And then I have a couple other standalones that are in that same mass market paperback edition. The first one is Magic for Marigold, and this is about a little girl, and I think it just follows her in her childhood, actually. My friend Dia sent this to me after she read it, because she read it, and I was like, oh, I've never even heard of that one. That sounds amazing. And she was so sweet, and she sent it to me. I love the cover. It's a little girl and a kitty. I don't think it's one of her more popular works, but it looks like such a sweet story. And then the other standalone that I have in this old edition is our group read for Ella Montgomery, and that's Kilmeny of the Orchard. It's an ex-library, so it's kind of like weird. It's got like this blue on it. I'm wondering if I can get that off without it being super sticky. Oh, I think I can. I'm like trying to peel it off. I think it's working. Because I don't care that it's got like the protective covering on it. That doesn't bother me. But the blue is kind of messing with me just a little bit. And also like this little label from wherever that was taken out. And it's even got like this super old like stamp card in the front, which I love when I get ex-library books that have that, because then I can just use that as a bookmark. But I also realized that this book is actually like a withdrawn book from Hartford, Connecticut. And my husband and I are from Massachusetts, but we're actually not far from Hartford, where we're from, and my mother-in-law actually works in Connecticut. So that's kind of fun that it came all the way from there and somehow ended up here with me. So this one I have not yet read at the time of filming this video. I am hoping to start it the day that this video comes out, because we will be having reading sprints today, which you probably will have already seen the information for that, but this video hopefully should be going up before reading sprints start. So if you did not know about that, now you know that Saturday, today, which I think is the 14th, I'm doing the math correctly in my head right now as I'm filming, we should be having live reading sprints on my channel, and I will be starting Kilmeny then. I'm super looking forward to it. It's pretty thin compared to a lot of her other books, which aren't super lengthy either, but it's shorter than a lot of her other paperbacks in the same edition. And the last Ella Montgomery that I currently own, it's also a standalone, and it's an adult book, and it's not in any of the editions that I've already showed you, but that is A Tangled Web. And I was supposed to read this book last year, and I just didn't get to it. So it sounds like it's really funny though. I read the first chapter. I thought the first chapter was really funny. It seems like there's a lot of family drama that's happening surrounding this vase or jug or whatever that the matriarch of the family is passing away, and everyone wants it. And so they're kind of like waiting to see who she gives it to in her will and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's supposed to be pretty funny. Also, the girl on the front, like hardcore, reminds me of Snow White. Anyways, I think it's the hair. I'm sure it's the hair. So I accidentally lied to you. I actually have a couple other books here, one of which is Ella Montgomery and the other two are Montgomery adjacent. So I am going to share them. But the first of which I can't believe I forgot, because it's actually part of my TBR for Ella Montgomery, and that's Against the Odds. This is a short story collection, and the little subtitle says Tales of Achievement. So this has quite a few of her short stories in them. She was actually a pretty prolific short story writer, which I've realized since I found that Project Gutenberg has all of her short stories on there for free, and it has them collected according to the years that they were published. This one has 18 short stories in it, quite a few, and some of them are just kind of like, the titles are cracking me up a little bit. Like one of them is The Genesis of the Donut Club. I want to be part of the Donut Club, and I want to know how it began. We also have such titles as The Fillmore Elderberries. I bet that they have a great immune system, the Fillmore family. And then Why Mr. Cropper Changed His Mind. Who's Mr. Cropper? How did he change his mind, and why? What did he change his mind about? And then How We Went to the Wedding, which I'm just kind of, I don't know. Some of them sound pretty normal, like A Case of Trespass or A Question of Acquaintance, although they kind of sound mysterious. But some of them are just, the titles are just really funny. So I think The Genesis of the Donut Club needs to be the one that I start with, even though it's not the first book in this. All right, so the two Ella Montgomery adjacent books that I have, the first one is this Anne of Green Gables cookbook, which I also gifted a copy to for my friend Dia from Novel Idea. We actually exchanged some book mail in our Introduce Your Booktube Buddy tag that we did, and this is one of the things that I sent her, knowing that she was going to be a co-host for Ella Montgomery, and it's got like so many great recipes in here, like Diana Barry's favorite raspberry cordial, and then like it's got pictures, and then it has a quote from the book that it's from. And we've also got things like Splendid Lettuce Salad, which has a quote from Anne of Avonlea where Diana says, "Oh, Anne, mayn't I help you cook the dinner? You know I can make splendid lettuce salad." And then it's even got stuff like Anne's liniment cake, but without the liniment. And then Marilla's plum pudding, which also goes with the caramel pudding sauce without the mouse. So it's got the quotes from all of the things that these recipes were taken from. And so one of the prompts for Ella Montgomery is to take a picnic. And so my daughter and I want to make a couple of the treats in this and then go on a picnic together. So I'm really looking forward to using this one soon as well. And then lastly, my daughter has already hijacked this one. This is Kindred Spirit, a biography of Ella Montgomery, and it's by Catherine M. Andronick. And my daughter is already absolutely loving this. She started it last night and she loves it. I am currently reading House of Dreams by Liz Rosenberg, so I haven't read this one yet. This one is intended for a middle grade audience, but I love that it has like pictures in it of like Ella Montgomery's family, and so that's why I loved this one, is because it has photos and stuff in it as well. This book is actually out of print. I got it from Abe Books, I think, for just a couple of dollars, and already it's worth it because my daughter loves it so much. But I hope to page through this one once I've finished House of Dreams. So that's my collection of Ella Montgomery books, and you may have noticed it is incomplete. I don't have any of the Jane books, I don't have any of the Pat books, and I'm sure that I'm missing some other things. I know I don't have like the Blythes Are Quoted, or you know, some other like short story collections, but I might be missing a couple other of her like standalone books as well. I'm not really sure, but the main ones that I am missing, in my opinion anyway, are the Jane books and the Pat books. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Do you have any particular edition that's like your favorite edition of Anne of Green Gables or any of the other books? And what is your favorite Ellen Montgomery book? Is it Anne? Is it The Blue Castle? Is it something else? I would love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me, and I will see you again next time.